Hey everybody, sorry I'm a little late, but made it. Yeah, it's been one of those kinds of weeks. So how are all of you? Hope you've had a good week. We'll hang out for a few minutes, let people get logged in before we get started, and so yeah. Let's see what's been going on. Just a lot of work stuff and things. Can someone say something in the chat so I know that this is working? Oh, there we go. Okay, good. I was like, for a moment, everything was like, it just looked, I was like, oh no, are we froze again? Hopefully that won't happen again. But at least this time I do know I figured out how to fix that. So we'll know how to fix it. Um, good, good. So yeah, we'll continue to do what we did last week. Um, I might do a little like an opening. I don't remember if I did that or not last time. And then we'll just do the prayers that for the specific things. I'm not going to try to do like a full service like we've had been doing, and then we'll do and I'll send the energies and yeah, and then we'll just talk some more as far as like we're not going to do a a path working or anything just yet. We'll get to more stuff like that soon. Um, what is that on the screen? I guess that's part of. I guess that's my monitor. The camera's behind my monitor, picking part of that up. But oh well. Um, yeah, I had to reset up this whole deal again. I had it all kind of taken apart. I've trying to record some stuff, and I had different microphones set up for the to try. I'm still trying to get the final audio for the the Book of Omnipotence. Audio equipment and I do not work very well together. It's you hear people talk about like some people, that are occultists, wizards, and stuff that technical devices don't work right for them. And for the most part, I don't have a problem with that, except with microphones. I have the worst luck with microphones. They break like constantly. Um, I can get a new mic and like a week later it's dead. And it is such a pain in the ass. Or sometimes they just come already broke. That's happened. So, um, so yeah. Anyway, I had all that set up to record that stuff, and I had to switch everything around. So I'm glad it's all working. Um, so yeah, it's good to see everyone again, and we'll get started here in just a minute. I want to see if we can get wait just another couple of minutes, see if we get some more people on. Why are technical issues a problem amongst occultists? It's just a thing that people talk about. I don't think it's not like anything's ever been studied, but the theory, I guess, is that um, our energy disrupts technical devices. It's kind of more of a trope or a stereotype, and like I think in a lot of fiction, but I think it also, I think it's happened. Like, um, but yeah, that's what I don't know if that's why I have problems with microphones. I just have problems with microphones. and really just recording things in general. Like I just like I had a laptop and I could not get that. It would not record any. I mean, I couldn't get it to record anything. It's like it had a video card with the sound. When like the sound cards usually on video cards now, I think it had all of it, but it would not work. I had to buy a whole different laptop just to be able to get anything to record. That was um, a big problem, and that's the main reason why like I don't have a lot more of like the guided meditations and stuff on YouTube, or even more other various YouTube things. Is like I just for years I could not get anything to work on a consistent basis. So yeah, that was uh, it's just an ongoing struggle I have is like microphones. So all right, well I think we've got we've got about 20 people here. That's about what we usually have. So we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll continue to chat later. So let's take a moment, send ourselves. Oh, and if you are on the Patreon, I've have put these prayers on the Patreon so you can follow along. And remember, the way that this kind of works is I'll read it in English and then we'll read it in Enochian. And so whenever I read it in English, you can see what we're praying for. And then so then you can have like, you can adjust your emotions accordingly. And like, it's good practice to like always try to work in that emotional alchemy into, um, well, really almost any ritual. It can always empower any ritual. So including prayer. Prayer, as far as I'm concerned, prayer is a form of ritual. And so what you do is you feel the desire or need or whatever kind of negative emotion the topic brings up for you. And then as I read the prayer, you're going to transform that into gratitude as though you've already received what we're praying for. And that will further empower the magic, for lack of a better word. So let us begin. We call we call on the eternal existence, the divine speech, and the holy children. Ozakir Batar Zir Logath Ad Lil Yokam. The call to prayer and temple opening. Come, I called you. Call to all of us. Make us one in God. Glorify God. Rejoice with us. Bless us and unite our fellowship. Make our hearts a holy temple and our minds a holy throne. Open the temple of our spirit and dwell within us, O God. Let our thoughts be immaculate light and our gratitude become unconquerable power. Make us one as God is one. Kamsel, Zakar, Al Non, Zakar, Ga Nan, Eno, Nan, Elyad, Sabam Yad, Sa Vavago, Nan, Lopnan, Ad Sobonan, Eno, Nan, Sia, Bonsgim, Lil, Adnan, Sia, Odal, Lil, Zakar, Baz, Gim, Nan, Sia, Ad, Tabu, Nan, Yad, Nanas, Nan, Kaznan, Pul, Adnan, Vavago, No, Asaf, O, Ta'og, Eno, Nan, El, Ez, Yadel. So if you're following along, we're going to skip down to the prayer for protection. O eternal living God, powerful and most high, holy, everlasting, and strong, we call upon you. We glorify God. Shield us from all things. Bless us and guard us. Shatter darkness, break the wicked, and silence the unjust. Be friendly with us. Dwell with us in heaven and earth, truth and justice eternal from the Creator God. We give thanks. We are blessed. We rejoice. Yoyad pa id ya ida, lil balto, od samf, zakarnan, sobol yad, lo kal non ga, lat non od zomad, pir a oz, pir a loholo, od zikle, od fa, gorge, non tobel, non mandis ox, od chaosk, la iad, veowan bal ta o log yad, o lang lan, latnan a vavagonan. And now I'm going to send the energy for protection. Just imagine the energy flowing out from my screen to you and send it wherever you need it to protect whatever it is you need protected. This isn't just for safety. If you're worried about your job, you can imagine the energy protecting your job or your family, your vehicles, whatever you need. And for anyone who's watching this after it was recorded, it could still work for you. Okay, and again, if you're following along, we're going to skip down to the health and healing. O eternal, most high, perfect and everlasting in power, we call upon you. We glorify God. Make us to flourish in joy and brightness. Bless us, preserve our strength, and bind us together. Be friendly with us and dwell with us in holiness and abundance. Call and shatter the darkness and shield us against all things. We give thanks, we rejoice, and we are blessed. Yoyad, Yaida, Kazgan, Baltor, Ad Somf, Zakarnan, Sabalyon, Eno, Nad, Evavago, Ad Kazgan, Lat, Nun Zomed Zamf, Ad Kisnan, Zorgenan, Torblin, Nun, Lilad Balit, Zakar, Pire Os, Lo Kal Nun Ga, Olag Nan, Ovavago, Nan Latnan. Now I'm sending energy for healing. And again, just send it wherever you need healing in your life. It's not just for physical healing. We can heal relationships or heal just anything that needs healing. The prayer for love, friendship, and belonging. O holy God of justice, brightness, and joy, we call upon you. We glorify God. Bless us and be friendly with us. Make union in heaven and earth. Break division, call beauty, and bind us in fellowship. Call forth one in beauty and make us one. Summon treasures for me, holiness to all joy. truth and justice. Glorify us with protection. We give thanks, we rejoice, and we are blessed. Sorry, my phone just glitched out. Okay, here we go. Yadan dil va ovan, kasgan od, avavago, zarkar non sobam yald, lot non od, zarga non enon, mardriox od, chaosk, pire, lonche, zankar pugo, od kis non sobo, zakar el pugi, enon non el, baulet, zakar al, log ga avavago, la iad, veoan, sanban yokal, old log non, avavago, non lot non. Sending the energy for love and for belonging. Use this for manifesting your true love or for making love stronger that you have, for attracting new friends, to strengthen any relationships where you need it, to build community. You can feel a real pulling here. Something is really taking a lot. The prayer for wealth and abundance. O eternal, most high, powerful, holy, and everlasting, we call upon you. We praise God. Bless us with all treasure, brightness, and power. We call upon you to break open all riches in the heavens. Rejoice with us, be friendly with us, and shield us from darkness. Bless us, O Creator of all. Our souls give thanks and blessing. O Yad, Yaida, Samf il Balto, Zakar nam, Sobom Yad, Lot nan ga Balt, Kazgan od Samf, Zakar or Pire, ga Balt, od Madriax, Avavago, nan Zorge, nan, Luka Ors, Lot nan, Olag, Zardame ta, Yada na, Zomad, Lap. And I'm sending energy for prosperity. You can imagine this going out for just general, just to bring more prosperity and money and wealth. Maybe to get a better job. Find new ways to make money if you're looking for a side hustle or something. And now a prayer to enhance our magical and psychic abilities. O Most High God, God of power, wisdom, and truth, we call upon you. We glorify God. Govern us in wisdom and call us a seer. Make us truth and perfect treasures. Be friend with us and shield us from darkness and injustice. Bless us with power and let us rejoice. We give thanks for wisdom and protection. Ya Ida, Yadan, Samf, Gaha, Gahoakma, O La Yad, Zakarnan, Sobal Yad, Pir Nan Gahoakma, Zakar O Loholo, Eno Nan, La Yad, Ad Kazgan Baut, Zorganan, Lokal Nan Ors, Ad Dofa, Lopnan Saf, Ad Avavagonan, Olagnan, Gahoakma, Zomadnan. Okay, how about now? Yay. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It didn't used to happen. It's been now 2 weeks in a row. That's no good. What was the last thing you guys heard? You there? During Power and Magic. Wow, that's great. I guess we're backing up. All right, so I guess we're just if I had my hand up and I was doing the energy for the uh, magic and psychic power, we'll moving on to this one doesn't have they don't have energy components, just the prayers. Um, so we're doing the prayer for justice and righteous leaders. O ruling God of justice, power, truth, and everlasting light, we call upon you, we glorify God. Govern our fellowship and make the weak a brotherhood. Break the wicked, judge the unjust in darkness, preserve the lowly and bless us, and bind the lowly in oneness. Establish justice for all and let God rule everlasting. We give thanks, we are preserved and we are justice. Yadan, Veoan, Samfli, Iya, Yad, Balto, Zakanan Sabal Yad, Pirnan Sobol, Adino, Sobol Lanchi, Pire, Loholo, Zixle Dorfa, Ad or Zomad Liansha, Lop Nunkis, El Lonchi, Kis Veaan, Gav Pir Yad Balto, Olagnan, Zomad Nan, Veoan Nan, and a prayer for freedom from oppression. I call upon God Almighty, the Most High, the ruling God, the unconquerable power. I call for judgment upon darkness, to bind all injustice, and to cast down and bind all suffering of the lowly. Have mercy on us, preserve us, and make us powerful. Let us govern ourselves and establish us to govern the earth. Shine the light of your face. Give us wisdom and perfect our spirit. Give us joy and glorify us. Zakar od Yad Balto, Pa'id, Ya'ida, Yada od Som Tog Og, Zakar Old Zikles or Keys God Dorfa, Odd Talks Odd Keys, Lun Shipul, Preol, Zomd Ol Odd Odd E Odd O Som Pure Ol Odd Keys All Pure Kas Odd, Zakar Aldan Lop, O Gato Gahuakma, O Cosgo, Ol Sia, O Lag Ol, Evavago, Odd So Balm Om. Sorry, there's a sharp pain in my neck all of a sudden. All right, we're going to close out with the prayer for wisdom and divine union. O God Most High, wisdom bright and holy, we call upon you. We glorify God. Make us wisdom and divine truth. Join our spirit as one and bind us in heaven and earth. Be friendly with us. Rejoice with us. Bless us. Wisdom is power and holiness, and we give thanks. Yad Yadi Yaida Gahoakma Kazganiel Zakarnan Sobal Yad Eno Nan Gahoakma Ad Laiyad Sia O Eno El Ad Kis Na Madriax Ad Kaask Zorgenan Avavagoan Latnan Gahoakma Sam Flil Ad Olag Nan. And the closing prayer. We give praise and thanks to all God Almighty and everlasting. We give praise, joy, and thanks to all the spirits of heaven and earth. We, the holy children, go forth in love and power to create the temple upon the earth. Olag Nam Sobam, Ad Pre Yad Balto, Ad Paid, Olag Nam Sobam, Ad Vavago, Ad Pre Gaya Dan, Madriax, Kaosk, sorry. Oh, it still didn't do it right, whatever. Lil Young Kam, Nan Zir Gablior, Ad Samf, Eno Bos Gim, Madriax, Kaosg. We call on the eternal existence, the divine speech, and the holy children. Ol Zakar Bal Tozir Loga Ad Lil Yolkam. Okay, hopefully we made it through. That was a lot. I'm not frozen, am I? I don't see anything happening. Okay. So yeah, that was interesting. Really tired of things not working. The freezing up and yeah, that just all goes like I was talking about with the microphones and the stuff. It's a pain. That's a pain in the butt. That's just what my life has been this past week, especially. It's just technical difficulties, like one after the other. So a couple of things I wanted to mention on the prayers. Sometimes the tense, like it changes. So sometimes it's if you're reading the prayers, and if you have them from the Patreon, and I'll release them to everyone next week. But I wanted to give the Patreon at least a week where they get early access because that's what the Patreon's for. But when you read them, like sometimes it says sometimes it's I. It's like the tense is weird and Enochian is, and then sometimes like I tried to write them so that you could read them from for yourself, but sometimes in my head was also we're talking about the like for the group and saying us. So just adjust it as needed. The words are actually the same. Um, so the meaning is still the same. It doesn't change. Um, and then like I went back like originally, when we were doing this, I used a lot more like Galva and the Mother and stuff. But I wanted, since these I'm going to be putting these out for everyone to use, I wanted to make them a little bit more generic so that because not everyone's going to necessarily believe the same things that I do about her and the other one. So I wanted to make them a little bit more um, a generic. And God can. It's a very. It is in Enochian. It's a very generic word, and it can mean whatever you kind of want it to mean for that divine power and divine intelligence that's running through everything. So. Um, so anyway, yeah, I'm not trying to like. We're not going back to like more of a Christian angry sky daddy vision of divinity or anything like that. Just that, like I said, I was just trying to make it more generic, and that's what I mean by it. But I did have to go like I think if you were here for the very first some of these, I was using a much older set that still was very used a lot of more Christian imagery and had readings from the Bible. So there's a lot of stuff about sinning and Zion and I didn't feel comfortable with all of that. So it's just been a process of adjusting them and kind of um, creating something that it's good for everyone to use. So anyway, that's what. So if whenever you download these, that's what that kind of means and stuff. Um, so again, I kind of wanted to mention the stuff we were talking about last week with the. Uh, I guess we're going to talk about like the political. Well, first, I guess before we get into political stuff, does anyone have any other questions or anything that they have before we start getting talking about something more specific? Just more of a general Q&A. I don't typically, someone saying they would like to speak with me in the future. I don't really do one-on-ones. It's just, I don't like scheduling things and having to work around someone else's schedule is just always a nightmare for me. So I've just never done that. But if you have any questions, now's the time. Anyone? How do you block people from remote viewing or astral spying? You can do that in a couple of different ways. Baal, the demon Baal, can hide you, and you can also. So there's a basic energy thing that a lot of people do. It's in like Jason Miller's book, I think, too. When you as you're moving your energy, whatever version it is, you almost always get to a point where you are sending the energy out of your head, where it loops around and comes back and goes into your feet, comes back and goes around. And everyone should do some kind of daily practice of this. And at a certain point, once you get that flow going, kind of the torus shape around you, that protective bubble, then imagine it kind of going psychedelic and just with the intention that by doing that, you are blocking all psychics from being able to see you. And so that'll block you from that. But Baal's also good. and layering it up with different things, because people, if they're a psychic and a magician, they can use magic to help clear, cut through your different things. So it's a matter of like building up on that. Are there any angels that can hide you? I've heard the Kabbalistic cross cloaks you as well. The Kabbalistic cross, as it's done, does not. You need to take that next step, like I just described, and uh, I guess I don't remember. It's actually partly I don't do the Kabbalistic cross or any of that stuff, but at some point you should get the energy flowing one way or another through you, because I forget the thing that the Golden Dawn taught that did that. It was the Kabbalistic cross and something else. Anyway, but at some point you're going to get the energy moving. You create a ball around you and imagine it like it can be static or psychedelic, whatever it represents to you, like you're kind of sending out, you're jamming. Yeah, middle pillar, that's it. That you're jamming their frequencies, or that you're cloaking yourself and something that they can't pierce. Like everything else, you've got to intend for that to be what it is. You can use whatever representation you want of it, but you need to set that intention that nothing can see you. And angels, you can use like the Enochian angels of secrets and stuff. Those would work. I can't think of any of the more traditional Kabbalistic angels. Nothing jumps to mind. But I mean, but by all means, just because I can't remember it doesn't mean that there aren't some. Uh, just go through all the books and look through all the powers. And this is something I would just encourage people to do on a regular basis. It's just like you have access to all of these books, and they're really cheap. Like the Gallery of Magic books and all these, they have these angels and spirits that are like the primary spirits that occultists work with, and they have their powers listed. Just every so often go through there and just look and see what powers you need in your life at that point, and do the rituals for those. Do I generally recommend the middle pillar as a daily practice? I don't do. I mean, if you're into that system, then yeah, you need to do some kind of energy work, just to get your energy flowing. Whatever version of it you do, like I don't do like anything from a specific like that has a name. The first, like what I do, and I do this. I try to do this twice a day. I open up all of my chakras from the bottom up, and then I imagine, and of course you have a chakra, it goes way down, it's in the earth. I open that up, and then using that, I pull energy up from the earth and move that up through my feet, filling me up with like green healing energy of the earth. And then chakra way up in the sky, open that up and get the energy from the sun or the moon and stars, whichever one is out at that point, and you pull that energy down. And I imagine it mixing with the like white energy from the sun or the stars, mixes with the green of the earth, turns golden, and that golden energy fills from the bottom of my feet all the way up, explodes out of me, comes out like a torus, goes around, comes back up, and does that. And then you can start adding to that. You do the psychedelic thing or the static or whatever for the psychic spying, and then you can start, if you have attunements that you want to layer different levels of protection on at that point, then I do those, because it's more than just protection is more than just one thing. I mean, one thing is good, but at least from my level, there's a lot of people that are, from other magicians that are jealous, just people who are angry at me for whatever reason and want to send that. I use multiple layers of protection with different spirits from completely different systems so that I've got something that'll take care of almost anything. Are the Watchers considered Enochian angels, or are they a different type of angel? The Watchers they're not part of the Enochian system. Enochian, they use the word Enochian, but it has nothing to do with the Book of Enoch. This just, it happened because there were already a bunch of languages called angelic or celestial, and the whole idea of the language was that it was the original language that Enoch would have used. So people started calling it Enochian, but it has nothing to do with the Book of Enoch that we have today and the stories that are in that book. That's two completely separate things. Plus, I mean, the angels from the Book of Enoch are fallen. They are from, according to the stories in that book. So, yeah, very, very different, completely different systems, but with the same name, so it gets confusing, and that's the problem with the occult. Yeah, there's just too many words and too many names all sound the same and mean this or mean the same thing, or mean something completely different, and then people can be talking about using the same word but actually talking about completely different things. And it's just, this is what happens in today's world, where we have all of these different systems that were meant to be taught, like master to student, but now it's all in books and online, and the words are all intermingled, and it's very confusing. And it's just what we have to deal with, though. So, any other questions? Okay. So, for those of you who are on my on that Discord, the invisible one, we're gonna start talking about politics here. So, if you're not interested in that topic, you can go ahead and uh, log off. It'll be the main thing we're talking about now. So, if that doesn't interest you, you can go ahead and go. And I hopefully we'll see you next week. But for those of you interested, we'll hang out a bit. So yeah, if you're in the Discord, you'll see I haven't done a damn thing this week. Um, so yeah, I didn't put it in the Patreon. It's in the 151 study group, and it also it goes away on a regular basis. They're only good for 2 days. Um, so what is how you say I haven't done anything, because this has been a rough. It's been a rough week. Last week, I remember I told I'd had a dream about the three moons, and I'm still trying to. All right, goodbye. Have a good week. But I'm still trying. I was still trying to kind of figure that out, and then there was a whole. Um, I don't know. It's just like, well, that kind of doubt that starts to creep in. It's like, what is the point of this? Like, I'm not. What is the point? But why? Why am I doing? Who am I to get this? And just like, um, who am I to try to set anything like this up? Just like that kind of. I mean, it's not an unreasonable question to ask, and all of you should be asking it. I would think. Um, I would hope anyway, because that's kind of how we get into this situation. Is like, why do people follow anyone? Why do they follow, and why do they follow like the worst people and things? So like, just the whole week, yeah, imposter syndrome, and just a lack of wanting to do it. But at the same time, what I keep coming back to is, for whatever reason, they they are, I'm in communication with these guys and the angels or whatnot, and a lot of people don't hear them that clearly, and so yeah, just that's just that's just the job that I've been given, and so whatever doubts I may have or whatever, I just need to put it aside and just do the damn job. Um, but I really didn't even come to that like conclusion until like last night and stuff. And I just, like I said, it's been a rough week as far as like struggling with these ideas and stuff. And it's like, because yeah, it's at a certain level, it's ridiculous. And like, and here's the thing. Um, some of you who've been following me and my career and stuff, and been in the different groups and things for years, you'll remember there was another magician that he had a vision, and he had this vision that he'd been granted he was going to be this great leader in this great battle between good and evil, and he had a real Gnostic, that Sethian Gnostic idea that the world is a prison, and the archons are holding us all enslaved, and um, and that I was the high priest of the archons, and that the angels of omnipotence, this is right after that book came out, the angels of omnipotence and the Enochian angels were all part of the archonic system of enslavement, and that I was the high priest, and he was out to destroy me, and um, and it's like that idea, not and it didn't even matter so much that it was aimed at me as the villain, but just that this is a common thing that a lot of people get when they start working um, with angels and magic and stuff. Is this the Messiah complex comes on, that they're the savior and they're going to lead this great battle against good and evil, and it's so common that I feel like it is a parasitic trick. It's something that the parasites that are out. It's something that they know works, and so they try to lure you in with it and say that, basically give people that information. You are going to be this great leader who's going to save the world, and so like ever since, like once I kind of realized, I've heard that story, I've heard it so many times, especially like when I was doing a lot of the curse removals and stuff, like that, and it's just, you see it so many times with like other occultists, and yeah, someone's asking if it was like, if it's some kind of test. I don't, maybe to a degree it's a test. I also think that it's something. So the idea that any one of us is the Messiah is insane and laughable. No one is going to save us. No one person is going to save us. That's my dog. She's in here hanging, like moving around. Um, but all of us, we are all God, and therefore we are all the Messiah. And so I think what is happening, the angels are trying to tell you that. The angels are trying to say you are God, but they don't mean your ego is God. That mean that true you, the you that's not you, the you, because the you that you identify with is false and fake, and it's kind of a lie that you've told yourself that you are. But that's in a whole other thing. But it's the thing behind that, the true you, the you that's there beyond that sense of self. That is what they're trying to say is God. And your ego steps into that path, and it's like, no, they're saying I'm God, and and that's where I think people get confused. So there is a bit of a misunderstanding of what they're telling you, and I also do think I think it's just a trap that parasites use for people that haven't done a lot of the spiritual work yet. So all that being said, um, it's something to always be aware of, and worry about whenever you start hearing that message. And so I've been hearing, it's not the same message, but close enough that I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm hearing something else, or I'm taking something the wrong way. But the thing is, like, the message I'm getting is not that I'm going to lead the great armies into a battle about good and evil. And the message specifically says it's not about me and that it's not going to be done in my lifetime. And it's just I'm just contributing to an overall movement that has been going on since before I was born, will continue on after I'm long dead. And that is what we're trying to do. And we're just going to be another iteration of it and a specific group of people working for that. And that's how I'm looking at it. But as such, I do need to kind of accept that the responsibility that comes with that. So yeah, I will start doing better, and I will start being more interactive in the Discord. And hold on just a second, I'll see if I can grab that invite. I'm so bad. Well, that didn't work. Okay, so hopefully that works. So that's the Discord where we're going to start doing this. Like at least start it's where we're at least starting to send people so that whenever we get more active, we're going to start going. We'll coordinate everything there. We may not stay on Discord. We may move somewhere else, but that is kind of where we're starting the process. I've had a volunteer. It's going to be a moderator, and she'll start helping me with the Discord because I'm so bad at it. And I'll start. Again, the main plans are we're going to do the Dion Fortune thing, which is a weekly meditation, where we basically with the goal of healing the country and the earth and bring truth, help people see the truth and help, let justice be done. We're not actively going to be cursing anyone. We're not necessarily, we're not attacking anyone. And this is an important thing is like, we're going to focus on healing. And because the fear is like, if you focus on fighting and war and you're fighting somebody, obviously, first off, there's like a lot of issues when you're trying to like curse politicians. And that's where there's egregores and there's defenses built into it, and it's dangerous and it's difficult and it's a bad idea. It's a bad strategy. And if it worked, I don't think these people would be in power because I know there have been entire books written about cursing Trump. It's just that's not. If it worked, it would have worked by now. So that's not the strategy we're going with. And the goal is not to hurt anyone. The goal is to heal, and the goal is to bring truth and help people see the truth about him, but about everything. And I don't want this to just be about beating fascism or MAGA or that. Like, our country was already screwed up before, like Trump showed up. And I don't think we should think as small as just, hey, let's get the Democrats in power. It's like, why? Like, they're just as bad in so many ways. So it's to make something better happen, like some real healing and really dealing with, and really seeing the truth of the whole system. And then hopefully creating a new one that is just. That is really the goal. Um, because um, anyone that's like, I mean, anyone that's any minority group already knows that the American like story is a lie. It's like, and it's never worked for everyone. And it was never intended to work for everyone. And so, yeah, we need to, and the people that don't realize that, I mean, it's not their fault. They've been lied to, and they've their whole life, like they have you doing the Pledge of Allegiance before you know how to read. So, it's an indoctrination that starts, as soon as you hit public schools, if not before then. I mean, I remember Disney cartoons about like Benjamin Franklin and a mouse and stuff that were, they're working on you that early to make you believe these stories. And like the one defense I had in it was that my grandmother, who I lived with for many years, is full blood Cherokee, and was always telling me about like don't trust the white man. And yeah, like I'm white, but I'm at the same time I have that part of my heritage, and I'm all blurry because I moved. There we go. Um, so in a way, that kind of helped me be insulated a little bit. So I was able. I had a little bit of an advantage to not get all of it, but I still absorb plenty of it. And we just need to recognize that it's not left and right; it's up down. That like and yeah, there's so there's a lot of stuff we've got to do for that. Um, but it is healing and not war. That was the point. It is healing and not war. Because if you're constantly going at war, then you're going to manifest more war. And if you're fighting and stuff, you're constantly going to manifest a fight. Now the fear of that is that, well, if we're healing, aren't we constantly manifesting like illness and disease or something? And there might be something to that, and maybe at some point we'll move on. But I feel like it's at least a step in the right direction. Um, I've been like thinking that maybe we'll focus on like maybe freedom, because freedom from oppression has always been something I've been passionate about. Um, and like the Statue of Liberty. Speaking of weird stories, I didn't realize that people didn't realize this. The guy when the Statue of Liberty was originally designed, and she wasn't holding a plaque, she was holding her broken chains that she was freed from, and the whole thing was commissioned, and it happened because of was it the 13th Amendment that ended slavery, or 14th Amendment? I forget. And the freedom of the slaves after the Civil War. That's what the Statue of Liberty was for. And they changed it so that she's not holding the chains, but if you ever see her feet, she has been unshackled and is stepping forward from her chains. And so the Statue of Liberty is not about immigration. The Statue of Liberty is about freedom from slavery. Um, and that is something I think we're going to use, because she's not. There is an egregoric deity for America, and her name is Columbia. And the Statue of Liberty is pretty much an image of Columbia, and in this version, she's been freed from slavery. And so this is a very powerful image. It's one of the most recognized symbols on Earth, and yet people don't seem to realize the power that's, there's even more going on there. So, but yeah, Columbia, that's why we have the District of Columbia. And, um, Washington is literally the city of the goddess, the city of goddess of freedom. And so built into our country is this almost esoteric ritual of freedom. And so it's all there. It just needs to be accessed and reawakened. Um, And so that'll be part of the work that we're going to be doing. But we'll be doing it through guided meditations and weekly guided meditations. And I will let you know in the Discord and here probably when that starts. It'll be soon. And we're going to start with forming an astral temple for the group. For this, this group that wherever we're forming. So we'll have that a place for our own little sanctuary and place of power to work from, and then we'll work on specific tools over the course of time to help empower us. And again, these are astral. There's not like we're gonna have like physical items that you need to build or anything. We'll be doing it all astrally and imagining these tools being used through the meditations and stuff. So you don't need to know how to astral project or anything like that. It'll all be done through guided meditation. And you can invite people, just make sure that they're on board with what we're doing. I'm not super concerned. I know some people were concerned about infiltration and stuff from people, because don't get me wrong, there's plenty of magic being done on the other side of this. The one that jumps out is it's a chaos magic group called what are they called? Something Keck, Society of Keck, Order of Keck. I don't remember. Chaos magicians, and even fucking Elon Musk at one point changed his username to something like Keckius Maximus or something. So Elon is, if nothing else, is a chaos magician. But they basically claim that they memed Donald Trump into office. So they're using, and I don't know how active they are today, but if they were if there was a group like that active then, there's a group like that active now. And I may not know what they're calling themselves or whatever, but they're out there. You've got stuff like the Temple of Blood and the Order of the Nine Angles, who are literal Nazi groups that are trying to make Nazi shit happen. So, yeah, the Order of the Nine Angles is originally British, but I know we had incidents in America with them, with different white supremacist groups, and a guy in the military was arrested for giving his platoon's position away to the Afghanis during the war. So, but yeah, they're out there. They're fighting to bring fascism and expand it. Plus, just whatever bullshit billionaire class is using. I was listening to one. He's not a billionaire, but he was working. But he's a millionaire, and he was working with like some billionaires, and he kept using a term he heard from them, just the brotherhood. And I don't know which specific brotherhood, or if it was just a joke that they were doing something to tease the millionaire. I don't know, but there's something going on up on that end too. So yeah, taking their egregores down, it's difficult to fight an idea. And that's basically what an egregore is. It's an idea. And these egregores, like, yeah, they have the egregores of like whatever it is that they built specifically to try to do like ritualistically built. But you're not just fighting that. You're fighting what the angels were calling these false gods that people worship. Like the idea of nationalism has an entity that's been formed behind it that's pushing in its own agenda. The fundamentalist idea of Jesus has taken a life of its own that, I jokingly refer to as like Republican Jesus, who, that has a life of its own. And how do you kill Republican Jesus? Like, the only way you can cut through this stuff to me is by helping people see the truth, that their idea of Jesus is so far off from the real Jesus, and that white nationalism and nationalism, white supremacy, all of these things, these new gods are false. And so I don't know if you can take them down just magically speaking. That's why you have to open people's eyes to the truth. And I know that sounds like a pipe dream. All of this sounds like a pipe dream. I don't know how we're going to do any of this. That's just at some point you just have to have faith, and faith that we're on, that these powers that actually have power side with us because we're right, and the other side is wrong. And that's insanity on itself in certain ways. But um, it's what we have to, like, that's what we have to put our hope in, though. And then hope is, on the surface, is like, it usually looks insane. There's no reason to believe that um, some people doing some guided meditations are going to be able to affect the outcome of global change. But it did work. It helped World War II, and it's not going to work alone. It's going to require um, mundane work. Everything magical requires that mundane work as well. And people are going to have to go out. We're going to have to do other things. We're going to have to get involved in the wider world in some way or another, or at least support people that are doing it to help their mundane work. And I think that there's a lot of things we're gonna have to work on many different levels to make anything really happen. But yeah, I mean, attacking the egregores is not a bad idea. I'm just saying, it's like, it just obviously, I think that I'm glad people are doing that work, because I'm not sure that it's something that we're going to be able to do. Um, but the Dion Fortune work also does work by calling upon specific egregores to defend. So what she was doing was doing, and this was during World War II, and she was trying to protect the British Isles from invasion from Germany. And so she was calling on, like, they worked with a lot of the, like, Michael and other archangels and stuff, and different lines of power. But they were also calling on, like, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and stuff. Those British um, egregores that are about defending England. Um, and so there's, like, we have those as well. There are egregores in America that we have, of course, like the kind of the historical ones of, like, the idea of the founding fathers, stuff like that. But we also have, like, we have, like, the folk tales and the weird, some of the weird stories of, like, about Paul Bunyan, um, uh, Saint John the Conqueror, Sitting Bull. These different historical figures who represent these different things to different people, but they all kind of also have the idea of freedom. Um, but also, and, like, but even to, like, the modern times, like Superman, truth, justice, and the American way. I mean, that's built into that character. And if you know any of the history of Superman, he was he fought for the labor unions and stuff in the early comics. So he is, yeah, he might be red, white, and blue, but he's also fought for the little man, and not for conservative values. Although I do tend to think that superheroes, as they're used today, tend to support a fascist worldview of maintaining the status quo, if nothing else. And if you look at, like, the symbolism in the, like, Marvel movies and stuff, especially, you can see it, because they take, like, the villains are always, they have liberal ideas or leftist ideas that are but then they're violent about it, so then they're bad. So a character wants to support minority revolution, and well, he's bad and violent. We got to kill him. And Thanos even was like, we've got um, climate change because there's too many people, so we have to kill all the people. And like they make these leftist ideas, but then they're violent about it and evil, so they have to be stopped. And then, but then the heroes don't continue to work on in a good way. They just stop the bad guy, and then the status quo keeps going. And so, and that's what Alan Moore was trying to tell us a long time ago, is that the superheroes are fascist. So be careful. And it's like, again, it's that indoctrination that starts so young. And I'm not saying it's like some evil conspiracy. It's just people believe these stories and they perpetuate the story one way or another. And we have to wake up to the truth of these things. And that's what, and that's going to be that's going to be a lot of the work, that and healing, just slowly, layer by layer, peeling back the onion of lies, because man, there's so many, and there's so many in the occult world. Like, do you have any idea how much the CIA has played with the occult? What is it, like I'm trying to remember their name. The Council of Dying and the Raw materials, like Raw, the god Raw. Some people were supposedly channeling them and stuff. That was, if you follow who was involved in that, and one of them was a CIA guy who was involved in MK Ultra. A Course in Miracles was those people were involved with a CIA guy who was involved in MK Ultra. Like at some point, I think in like the mid-century, the CIA had a plan to try to create a new religion out of India and the New Age movement, and to make people more controllable, because and it was fun. I think it was abandoned because I don't think they do it the same level today. But I know they used to do it, and they may still do it. Like, I know some people say that Chris Bledsoe is a CIA thing. I mean, the thing is, you don't know, and you'll never know, because they know how to do magic too. So, yeah. So that's why you just have to focus on the revealing the truth and healing. When you start trying to like be super specific, it starts to break down as far as like what you can trust and whose agenda are you supporting. So anyway, all of this is what I've been kind of struggling with all week. Like, there's so many people on the other side fighting for, like, doing real magic to stop this. Like, between all of the organized evangelical prayer groups and then the Russian prayer groups that are like supporting all of that, and then the intelligence community stuff. And yes, I don't trust the Gateway Project. I've talked about that. But it's not even just the Gateway Project. It's like all the stuff that the CIA has done. And it's not even just the stuff the intelligence community has done, but the billionaire class. And not just that, but then there's just everyone who has their own agenda. Everyone's trying to rule the world. And they've all put their bullshit out there. And it's a mess. And there's so much. But we just have to have faith that we're fighting for the right cause, and I believe we are. So, like brain trying to take over the world. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people. Like, there's some like between. I mean, just think about it. Between like even just America's doing their stuff, China's doing their stuff, Russia's doing their stuff. you've got all of like just they're all doing this work trying to undermine each other. Like in some like we just on one level, we already know like Russia puts out so much propaganda on the internet. They're behind so much. They pay podcasters, even if like just to continue that message. You can see it online. You can end up like watch something about Ukraine, and all of a sudden you watch the wrong thing as you start getting all the stuff about like how great Russia is and how like their weapon systems are so much better than ours and stuff. It's like, and that we're doomed. It's like, what? Where is this coming from? So you have that plus, yeah, and then you have like older stuff. Like I'm not sure to what level they're doing it now, but God, the Catholic Church, I'm sure, has been a big player in world events throughout the centuries. And then anyway, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on out there, and no one group rules everything, and they're all fighting, and they're all dumping misinformation on us on a constant level that we have to try to parse through it all. Um, but the reality is, it's all bullshit. The whole thing is kind of, and that's why I'm not going to try to pick a. I'm not saying I will never try to help the Democrats win something because, like right now, even with the Democrats, like if we could stop some of the worst and protect some community, some of the more vulnerable communities by getting Democrats in power, that's a step in the right direction. But it's not a win. Um, we can't stop there. It would be a tool that we would use to help get to the next step. Um, so I'm not going to say we're not going to get down to that kind of level of stuff, but that's not the point. Overall, we're trying to do something much bigger and much new, bring something much more powerful and much better. People don't need to live like this. We don't need to have this much fear. With the technology we have today, we have more than enough food for everyone. We have more than enough resources for everyone. America alone throws away enough food to feed the world every day. And the Democrats right now, I mean, I think they took a real hard hit to the jaw, and they don't know what they're doing right now. They're still reeling from getting punched, and hopefully someone will step up with some leadership at some point beyond Bernie Sanders, because the Democrats are never going to get behind someone that far left, and they're also never going to get behind. He's too old, and they're going to learn all the wrong lessons, and they're not going to run a woman or a person of color again. So AOC and Jasmine Crockett, they're not going to get anywhere as far as like actually running for something. We're going to get probably Gavin Newsom or something who's out doing podcasts with Charlie Kirk. I mean, I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in them as a party, and they still support neoliberalism, which, if you don't know what that is, it's the economic system, kind of political economic system that Ronald Reagan brought in, the trickle down economics that helps the billionaire class. And the Democrats bought into it fully with like Bill Clinton and Obama. They were neoliberals as much as everyone else. So, um, well, yeah, the country still has racism. The country is racist on a level that I didn't know still existed, but it's deeply racist and deeply misogynist. Like I think the misogyny runs deeper than the racism does. Um, I think there's. I mean, we've had a black president. We haven't had a woman president, and and I don't. I mean, I think we've probably had a gay president. We just didn't know it. But anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. Um, yeah, something is better than nothing, and that is, but that's the way to look at it. Is not the end goal is not to get a Democrat elected. The that would just simply be the first step. The end goal is a, a government or a world or that actually is of the people and for the people and by the people, and doesn't make, it's not for the billionaires by, or the powerful. It's not just the billionaires. Like, this is like, and this is what it all boils down to. It's all made up. Our systems are all made up. We've made it all up. Humans invented all of this crap, and we can invent something new. It doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to live like this. We don't have to. Um, I mean, God, everything we do is something we do it because someone years ago made it up. Like our money system, credit cards, credit reports, all of it. We just made that shit up. Um, our money's not built on anything anymore. It's not based on gold or silver. It's an idea. And um, and again, like I was saying, we have more resources. Like, scarcity at this point is a lie. We have enough for everybody, and there's no reason people should go without. And there's no reason that people should work 3 jobs and not be able to, make ends meet. It's bullshit. This is ridiculous, and um, there's no reason for, wars and genocides anymore. All of it is it's it's it, it's bullshit, and we've got to move on from all of this. We can't keep living like this, and that's the point of this. It's not to, like I said, a Democrat is just a first step. If we can make a new party, or if we can get, I don't know what the steps are, and that's the thing with magic, is you don't necessarily need to know what the next steps are. You aim for, what your goal is, and you just work towards that goal, and the how will sort itself out. So with that, I will let you go. If any of this was, at all interesting to you, if you sat through it, like I said, join the Discord, and we'll continue to work towards it. I had one final thing I want to end on. I had a dream about 3 moons. I had a friend who didn't know about that, who I just found out had a dream about 3 moons. We both have different interpretations on it. We're going to get together this week and see if we can work that out. Um, but at the moment, we're going to kind of go on the idea. I think that we've got about 2.5 months left to get ready, to get this ball rolling, and then we're going to really hit it hard. Um, so that's kind of the plan right now. We're in the get ready phase, and that's going to last. Um, let's see, end of April. Oops. Yeah, probably. Like, yeah, we'll be getting ready probably through May. So, and trying to get really going in June. Be ready. I don't know specifically what's going to be happening at that point, but at the moment, that's what we're going to. Like I said, we're going to get together and try to work out what that 3 moons thing is. And so, yeah, just get ready for everything. I'll be a little bit. I'll start being more proactive as we get closer to that mark. And but we will see you um, next week, if if not else, and I'll probably see you in the Discord before then. All right, guys. Thank you for spending time with me. I will do the final blessing. Let eternal being sustain us, preserve us in life, and bless us. Bless us with wisdom that we may speak the speech of God. Call all the spirits of the heavens to guard us, guide us, and to bless us. Give us love, pleasure, healing, glory, treasure, peace, and the secret joy of God. May he who sits on the holy throne of God establish us and throne us in heaven, and let us govern the earth with unconquerable power. Baltal Zirnan Zamnan Taag Ad Lapnan Gahuakma Eno Nan Laga Yad Zakar Ga Yadan Madriax Zamnan Pirnan Ad Lapnan Olag Nan Bliorp Velop Pur Soba Balit Box Ab Laiad Laiad Veawan Ya Go Yad Vir Yes As Yarodan Lil Niznan Ad Pir Nan Tomadriax Ad Pir Nan Koask Samtaag. All right. Bye bye, guys.